This is what I will work with today. 2 plain beige recycled paper thin cover notebooks with an elastic band and some napkins. One of my clients loves flamingos, so I want to make sure this flamingo will be positioned properly. I want to keep the center of my napkin on the spine cover so that both flamingos will be fully visible. Now I know how to position my napkin and it's time to remove the top ply. The rest will go into the napkin basket to be used as napkins. I usually work on white backgrounds because the design stands out more. The colors are more vibrant. Today I chose not to paint the notebook white for 2 reasons. One may be an excuse. I did not want to paint it white because I was afraid the paint would oversaturate the cardboard cover, and I wanted an organic look. I will cut off the part of the napkin I won't be using and save it for later. It might be useful. I'm using a new brush today. I saw it at the store and loved the way it looked and just had to have it. Who cares about functionality? So I spread my Art Potch glue across the front of the notebook and make sure it's not too thick. When glue is applied too thick, napkins tend to tear. I place the napkin on the front of the notebook and press it down. I did not apply enough glue to the right side of the front cover, and this is where I made a big mistake. I was trying to apply glue only on the notebook, but wasn't paying enough attention and got it all over the back of the napkin, and when I flipped the napkin, it tore. Let's start again. I'm being extra careful this time round, and I will use some plastic wrapping to smooth out the wrinkles. I don't usually use it because I hate plastic, but this is wrapping from something I purchased, so it's not a new saran wrap, and it's easier on my conscience. No more wrinkles. This wrapping just makes it easier to be aggressive with your napkin without tearing it. I'm stretching the napkin so it lays flat on the side of the notebook. I will have to make some cuts to get around the elastic band. First I trim off the excess to make it easier to make those cuts. After I glue everything in place, you will not know the cuts were made. Time for the dangerous part. Success! Then I apply a top coat of glue, and this is where I fell out of love with my new fancy brush. I find it much easier to work with a regular brush. I'm being extra careful around the edges because I want to make sure they are properly glued on without oversaturating them and tearing the napkin, and I try not to get too much glue on the elastic band. I follow the same process on the other notebook with a floral design. This is one of my favorite napkins. I also did a reverse decoupage glass bowl with this napkin. Now that both notebooks are dry, it's time to trim off the edges. I usually do this with a sanding pad. These covers are not very sturdy, so this was a bit of a challenge and messy. But after you are done and you clean everything up, you are left with a beautiful edge. These two are looking great now, so I take out my vintage paint primer and sealer and give them a top coat. Decoupage glue does give some protection, but I always use a top coat over it. I was a bit too generous with my top coat and I had to make sure it was evenly spread out. To make the notebooks even more personal, I added a raised stencil. I make the paste by combining metallic gold paint with vintage paint powder. The powder turns the paint into a paste so it can be applied over the stencil and gives a 3D effect. Just wait and see. Perhaps I could have used a bit less powder, but this is really not an exact science. Just mix it really well so that the powder dissolves in the paint. Now I'm ready to apply the paste. I use an old gift card because it is a bendable flat surface. I hold the stencil firmly with my left and spread the paste with my right hand. And I wish I had an extra hand to hold down the little cup. I want to get the paste as smooth as possible so there are no ridges on the design. Not bad. Some bleed through, but not bad. While the paste is still wet, I grab my little knife and remove the paste that bled through. This is also one of the reasons why I protect my napkins with a top coat before I stencil. It makes it a bit easier to scrape things off without damaging the napkin. So after all that scraping, I mixed up a new batch of paste, this time using metallic bronze and powder. The flamingos will get a different design. Again, missing that third hand to hold the cup. And I think I will invest in some stencil paste application tool. Wonderful! After the stencil paste has dried, all there is left to do is to lightly sand the stencil and apply 2 coats of a top coat. Getting enough top coat on the stencil without it being too much is a bit of a process, but as long as you go over it enough times, it should be okay. And these are the finished notebooks. My 2 clients are happy with them, so I'm happy as well. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you for watching.